remember your offensive coordinator had some pretty specific ideas about what plays he wanted you to run. And you were one of the few quarterbacks in the NFL to be calling your own plays. And so how did you kind of negotiate with him, and how did you prepare so that you could kind of get the plays run that you wanted and not have a conflict with him?
Well, I mean, on campus here, Bill Walsh, who is, I could spend the next hour and 15 minutes talking about Bill Walsh, and I have you weeping about how great a coach he was, how what an innovative, ahead of the game, enlightened. He brought football into the next, generation. I mean, football was archaic, and every coach used the whip, never used the carrot very effectively. It was by submission. I'm going to pound you into submission to get you to do what I want. Very old school stuff, embodied by the fact that no one would ever give him a drink of water, right? That was the old way. I'm going to break these guys where they, I won't give them. And Bill was like, well, give them some water. They're thirsty, And let's not pound them into submission. Let's use he was just an enlightened guy. And being here on campus, Stanford gets to take a lot of credit for that. In Silicon Valley. He was Silicon Valley before Andy Grove ever, I don't know if that's true. I mean, I'm going to be on YouTube, so I better be careful. But Bill gets a lot of credit for kind of being Silicon Valley maybe before anyone Steve Jobs even started. I don't know when he started Apple. But Bill was doing it in 1980, 81, 82, just that enlightened kind of human relations kind of thing. But one of Bill's soft spots for me was he loved to come up with great ideas. He was ingenious. And so I noticed that if you could feed him something that he could come up with a great idea, you could actually get your play called, right? Because it would kind of not that he had to author it, but it was almost like he'd say, well, Bill, what if you, if I said, here, Bill, here's a play that I've been working on. I think it'll really work. I don't know that he would be like, no, that's nice. But I'd say, Bill, what do you think? The play that you brought up yesterday, that was really interesting. But think about if the guy went this way and that way. What do you think about that? He'd be like, now that's an idea, right? That's a great idea. Let's call it this, this, and this. And then, boom, we're on our way. And I guess that's what you mean.
So making it about them and not you.
Right, because, he was ingenious. And so he's so good at creating plays that you'd almost kind of get in with the flow. Like, okay, if he's going to be creating all these plays, well, I think I got some good ideas. I'm going to get in with them. And rather than fighting him and saying, well, I have good ideas too, hey, what about me? Just, get in and gain his respect. You come up with enough good ideas, he'll start saying, hey, that young kid, he's got some good ideas. And pretty soon, after a year or two, he's going, Steve, what do you think? Well, that was impossible 2 years ago. So that's another little piece of kind of understanding people around you and getting to yes kind of thing. I know it sounds goofy, but that was kind of, in football, you have to, there's a score, there's a time, there's no time to kind of caucus or rethink it or, let's sleep on it, that wasn't the profession. It was here and now. We're in, and there's no excuses, there's no getting out, the lights are on, and they're on for another 3 hours. They'll be off soon, but for right now, we're in this together. And it's going to be embarrassing or it's going to be great, depending on how we handle the next 3 hours.